Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool. This is your Nalini ma'am teaching you atoms and molecules of class 9. So in our last video, we came to know about atoms, isn't it? The definition of atom and how matter is made up of atoms, and also very important theory of chemistry called Dalton's atomic theory, where we discussed everything about the five postulates, isn't it? Fine. And today we are going to study about the laws of chemical combination. Okay, so there are two scientists. They are Lavoisier and Proust. Okay, so these two people, they have studied various theories, did lots of experiment. Based on their experiments, they came to know few things about the chemical substances and chemical reactions. Okay, and they have put them as certain laws. Okay, there are various laws, but only two important laws you are studying for your level. So the first law was given by Lavoisier, the second law was given by Proust. Okay, so altogether we will call it as laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combination. So what do these laws talk about, guys? The name itself says they will talk about chemical combination. Okay, so atoms always combine to form molecules or compounds, isn't it? So how do these atoms combine? What will happen when atoms combine? So all these things were put up as various laws, so we call them as laws of chemical combination. Okay, so under that we are going to study the first law of conservation of mass. Very important law. Okay, you must have studied in physics law of conservation of energy, isn't it? In a similar way, we are studying law of conservation of mass. So what do you mean by this law of conservation of mass? Very simple. Just try to observe the definition, guys. The mass can neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. During a chemical reaction is called law of conservation of mass. Okay, so what do you mean by this point? I explained the meaning of neither be created nor be destroyed. Yes or no? Say mass cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed, isn't it? So this point we discussed in the last video. Okay, the same point we are going to discuss again with a particular example. Okay, say for example, you have a chemical reaction, carbon reacted with oxygen. Okay, and you have got a new compound called CO2, which is nothing but carbon dioxide. Okay, guys, clear everybody? Okay, and here, these guys are actually reacting among themselves. Okay, so the guys which are placed in the left hand side of the equation, this is called chemical equation. Okay, and the substances which are present in the left side, the substances which are reacting among themselves are called reactants. Guys. Okay, and the new substance or the molecule that has formed, this is what we call product. This is what we call product. So you should have this general idea of a chemical reaction. Okay, say here carbon reacted with oxygen molecule, okay, to get carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the meaning of this particular equation. Okay, fine. Which guys are reacting here? Carbon is reacting with oxygen, isn't it? Okay, and you see here one carbon atom here. No, if nothing is there, it means there is one. Okay, see, one carbon is reacting, and in the product side, if you see, one carbon only is there. Yes or no? Do you have two carbon atoms formed? Do you have half carbon atom? No, right? That means how much amount of carbon you have taken for a reaction, that much amount is definitely there in the product. Yes or no? Clear, everybody? That means you have not created extra carbon during a reaction, and you have not destroyed the existing carbon during a reaction, isn't it? There is one carbon you have taken for the reaction. One carbon only is there in the product substance. This is the new substance you got when these two guys combined. In that new substance, how many carbon atoms are there, guys? One atom only is there. How many carbon atoms you took for the reaction? One only. In a similar way, see here, there are two atoms of oxygen. See, when I just write a single oxygen, it means one atom. When I have written O2, it means there are two atoms of oxygen. How many atoms, guys? Two atoms of oxygen. Okay, so I took two atoms for the reaction. In the product, how many atoms of oxygen is there? Two only. Yes or no? Two atoms I took. Two atoms are there in a product. That means the oxygen, two atoms you took, no, it has not become one. And you have not created extra also. Two did not become three. Two did not become one. Isn't it? This is what we mean by mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, so how much ever chemical substance you took for the reaction, that much chemical substance will remain as a product, will remain in the product. Okay, you cannot create extra atoms, or you cannot create existing atoms also. If we have taken one atom will be there in the product. If you have taken three atoms should be there in the new substance that is formed as a product. Okay, so this is what we call law of conservation of mass. In a chemical reaction, in case if you have observed extra mass creating or existing atoms destroyed, then it is not called as a chemical reaction. Okay, so such chemical reactions does not occur in our nature. Every chemical reaction that is taking place in our nature must obey this particular law. Okay, so which is that law? Law of conservation of mass. Okay, now let us see a question how they can ask on law of conservation of mass. Okay, we'll see a question now. See guys, let us see the question here. In a reaction, 5.3 grams of sodium carbonate reacting with 6 grams of ethanoic acid. Okay, so which guys are reacting here? Sodium carbonate is reacting with ethanoic acid, guys. Okay, the products are, that means when these two guys combined, you will get new substances, no? What is that new substance that is formed? Is called products. So what were the products formed here? Carbon dioxide, how much? 2.2 grams it seems. Water, how much? 0.9 grams. Sodium ethanoate, how much? 8.2 grams. Okay, so is this chemical reaction agrees law of conservation of mass? What do you mean by LCM here? Law of conservation of mass. Okay, I wrote it in shortcut, but you shouldn't write like that. Okay, fine. Let us first write the reaction. Okay, let us first write the reaction. So which two guys are combining here? Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Yes or no? You no need to worry about their formula. I will teach you how to write formula also little later. Okay. Sodium carbonate plus it is combining with whom guys? Ethanoic acid. Ethanoic acid. Isn't it? Okay. So these two guys are combining and what you are getting? Arrow mark. Arrow mark. Reactants and products are always separated by arrow mark. Okay, these two are reactants. Products, the products are carbon dioxide, okay, next water, okay, plus one more is there, sodium ethanoate, okay. So this is the chemical equation. And now masses have been given, no? Masses. How much amount of this reacted with how much amount? How much amount of this has formed? How much amount of water is formed? And how much amount of sodium ethanoate is formed? That is also given in a question, no? Write them. How much amount of sodium carbonate reacted, guys? 5.3 grams plus how much amount of ethanoic acid reacted? 6 grams. Okay. So altogether how much? These are reactants. So total amount of reactant is how much? How much guys? 5.3 plus 6. How much? 11.3. Isn't it? So total amount of reactants that you have taken here is 11.3. Okay. So this much mass of reactants you have taken. That much mass should be there in the form of product. Yes or no? How much ever mass, how much ever amount of reactants you have taken this side, that much amount should be there this side also. That is what, no, our law of conservation of mass. Okay. Now let us check out how much amount of reactants you took all together. 11.3. Now let us see how much amount of these guys have been formed. Carbon dioxide, how much guys? The products are 2.2 grams of carbon dioxide. How much amount of water? Plus 0.9 grams of water plus 8.2 grams of sodium ethanoate. Three products are formed. Yes or no? Carbon dioxide, how much? 2.2. Water, how much? 0.9. Sodium ethanoate, how much? 8.2. Combine all of them. How much do you get? 2.2 plus 0.9 plus 8.2. Here also you will get 11.3. Got to know? So, reactants, how much do you take? How much did you take? 11.3. How much amount of product has formed? 11.3. Okay, that means the mass has not destroyed and extra mass has not created also. Okay, so what we can say guys, this particular reaction obeys law of conservation of mass. Okay, why you are saying it is obeying law of conservation of mass? Amount of reactants is equal to amount of products. Yes or no? Amount of reactants is equal to amount of products. Okay, so you are saying that this reaction obeys law of conservation of mass. Okay, so this is how questions can be asked on law of conservation of mass. Clear everybody? Not just the definition, you must also able to understand the application. This type of questions are called application questions. You learned the definition, but how will you use this definition practically? That is what we will call application questions. Okay, so such questions also you must able to deal with. Okay, so they will give you one reaction, all masses they will mention. What you have to just do, add all masses of reactant side, add all masses given during product side, all weights during product side. See whether you are getting same numbers or not. If you are getting same numbers, then this is a perfect chemical equation which is obeying law of conservation of mass. If you are not getting numbers similar, okay, then it is not a perfect chemical equation. Such reaction does not occur in our nature. Clear everybody? So this is the importance of law of conservation of mass. Try to remember the definition. Very simple. The law says mass can neither be created nor be destroyed during chemical reaction. Okay, that means how much ever reactants you took, that much of product has to be formed. Extra you will not observe. Existing one getting destroyed also you will not observe. Okay, so this is all about law of conservation of mass. Now we will discuss the second law. Coming to the second law, law of constant proportion. Okay, law of constant proportion. Proportion in the sense what? Proportion in the sense ratio. Okay, let us just see how it is. It defines in such a way that a chemical substance, in a chemical substance, elements or atoms. Okay, here atoms are nothing but elements, because whenever we say two substances are combining, say calcium combines with oxygen, that way we say calcium can be considered as single atom, or can calcium just be considered as single element also. Okay, so here whenever I say element, it means atom only. Okay, whenever I say atom, it means element only. Clear everybody? After all, element contains crores and crores of atoms, isn't it? Pure atoms. So element means atom here, atom means element here. Fine. In a chemical substance, atom or elements, both are same, no? So I have used both the words here. Atoms or elements combine in a fixed proportion, by mass, or number, anything. Okay, so this is what the definition of law of constant proportion. That means, okay, so as I explained in the first video, say you have water. Okay, so water in the sense it is always H2O, isn't it? The water from tap contains H2O. Whatever may be the source, okay, you may get water from a tap, you may get water from a tank, whatever it is. Okay, whatever may be the source, the moment we say water, it is always H2O. Okay, say always two atoms of hydrogen combines with one atom of oxygen. Okay, say hydrogen and oxygen will combine in this ratio, 2:1 ratio. In water, hydrogen and oxygen are present in 2:1 ratio. This is what we mean by fixed proportion. Okay, fixed proportion in the sense fixed ratio. It may be a tap water, it may be a tank water, it may be a well water. Okay, always hydrogen and oxygen are there in 2:1 ratio. That means two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen, 2:1. Okay, so this is what we call fixed ratio by number. Fixed ratio by number. What do you mean by fixed ratio by mass? If you consider atomic mass of hydrogen, about atomic mass we will discuss little later. Okay, just try to analyze here. There are 2 grams of hydrogen. Where did this 2 come from? It is actually, atomic mass of H2. Atomic mass of H2. Okay, say always 2 grams of hydrogen, it is combining with 16 grams of oxygen. Where did the 16 grams come from? It is atomic mass of oxygen. So about this atomic masses we will discuss little later in the next video. Okay, just observe this. 2 grams of oxygen always combines with 16 grams of oxygen. You can take a common, no, this is 2 ones are 2 eights are. So you can write a ratio as 1:8. Okay, so always hydrogen and oxygen will combine in a ratio 1:8 by mass. Okay, if you take a number, 2 hydrogen atoms combine with one number of oxygen, 2:1 by number. Okay, so if you take a ratio with respect to the number, it is 2:1. If you take a ratio with respect to the mass, it is 1:8. Okay, water you may get it from tap, tank or well, whatever it is. Okay, always hydrogen and oxygen will combine in a ratio 2:1 by number and 1:8 by mass. This is what the meaning of the definition, law of constant proportion. Okay, so in a chemical substance, atoms or elements combine in a fixed proportion by mass or number. Okay, fine. So this is all about the 2 important laws that we have seen. In my next video, we will talk about the symbols of atoms or elements. Okay, till then revise the concept, and definitions of both laws and their meanings are very, very important. Okay, so if you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel for more updates to learn the concepts in an easier way. Thank you.